Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Alaska Company podcast. My name is Julie. This is my son, Jaden.
Hello.
And this is Samantha, my co host.
Hi.
We are excited to bring to you Dori, who I grew up with, and my sisters and my brother from PWS Salt. We are excited to find out all about how she started this salt company and what they're about. So stay tuned and follow us for this podcast. Hi,
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, thanks.
Oh my word. This is so amazing to
I
talk to you all
know.
these years later.
Isn't it surreal? I love it.
Yes. Okay, so tell me a little bit, Dory, about how you guys started this. What made you guys, do what you're doing as far as this business?
Sure. So our business is based in Whittier, Alaska, which is about an hour away from Anchorage. It's a very remote town. It's a little bit hard to get to. You have to travel through a one-way tunnel, and time it based on when you're going in versus coming out. But it's a really beautiful area that we as a family like to spend a lot of time in. So my husband and I and our business partners spend a lot of time boating on the water. We love to adventure. And that was sort of the root of where this business came from. So we were out adventuring one weekend in Prince William Sound, pulling our shrimp pots, and it was a beautiful day, but it was very windy. And when you're out pulling pots, you're kind of sitting in the water, pulling them up, and you're focused on your task. You're bringing these, shrimp pots up, and you're getting splashed with water. But the sun was drying it, and the wind was drying it. And as we got finished, we realized we were covered in this beautiful white powdery salt. And so it kind of just light bulb moment of, wow, we could make salt. And from there, it just transformed into this really fun project that I don't think initially we thought was going to be a business idea. It was more of a fun, side hustle kind of a we can try this experimentation. There's a
Right.
lot of science that we discovered as we learned how to make, in the beginning, very gross salt and have honed and refined our process as we've done research and tried new techniques and new methods. Obviously, the way sea salt is generated around the world is different based on the environment. Alaska is a very cold, damp environment. We can't use solar to generate our salt. So we have landed on using natural gas heat, which is an abundant resource in Alaska. So we've kind of tried to embrace, what we have available to create a product. And as we have refined it, to really create the best possible product, which is a beautiful, flaky, delicate sea salt. And that's where we're at today. Um,
Wow. And now, is it the taste of this salt different in like as far as seasoning things and what makes it special and different for people to be besides it being from Alaska waters?
sure.
Which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So, sea salt everywhere in the world is a little bit different in its mineral content, right? And it's based on the environment. So, we actually, when we first got started, we worked with the Prince William Sound Science Center, which is based in Cordova. They have scientists there that are going out and monitoring all kinds of data throughout Prince William Sound. So, they're monitoring temperatures, they're monitoring the health of the marine life, but they're also sampling for things like microplastics and minerals. And after having some conversations with their scientists, they kind of clued us in that the deeper you go in the ocean, the higher the salinity levels are. So you go down about 200 feet and your water is twice as salty as it is on the surface. So we're like, oh, hey, great. We can get more salt per gallon of water if we go down a little deeper. And what we also discovered is, again, based on what their research was showing us, is that there's less microplastics the deeper down that you go. So the water is better for you. As far as the taste goes, it's a unique flavor based on our location. The Prince William Sound has incredible tidal turnover. The scientists there like to call it the world's richest waters because we have so much movement in that water that it's bringing in fresh minerals every single day with these huge tidal shifts. So really
Interesting.
great. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really great for you. And we do analysis. We send our salt out to have the mineral content analyzed. It's got all kinds of wonderful things for you, calcium and potassium and all of these other minerals. The taste is very delicate and very salty. I I know that sounds
Yeah.
obvious.
Right.
But I think what we have found is that because our salt is so incredibly salty, you don't have to use as much of it, right? So you can just do a little sprinkle on there and you'll still get that really beautiful, bold, salty flavor that you need without drowning your food in a product. So, yeah,
Okay. Wow. So it's powerful,
it
is
is.
it
Yes.
sounds like. Now, as far as I was looking, and you do make other seasonings, and do you use the salt in those seasonings? And
We do. Yes, we
okay.
do. When before we started the business, we actually have always been kind of foodies. And one of the things that we used to do was, Christmas presents for friends where we would infuse salt with rosemary, fresh rosemary and fresh lemon zest. And that also kind of was a fun idea when we started making sea salt. We're like, oh, hey, let's use our sea salt in this recipe. And that was kind of the first flavor that we started with, and it's delicious. And yes, we use our salt in all of our seasonings, and it's kind of evolved over what people have asked for versus what we like to eat, to generate new flavors and new ideas. I think our most popular flavor, and I'll say flavor, but it is really just an alder smoked sea salt. So we take our sea salt and we cold smoke it with alder wood chips, which anyone from Alaska would know, especially South Central. Alder is everywhere. It is like a weed that grows on every trail and every place, and you cannot get enough of it. So we use
Wow.
that to cold smoke, and it just provides a really lovely flavor, that smokiness that it complements any kind of, red meat or white fish or, I even like it on a little bit of ice cream. So it just depends on what you like
Wow.
to eat. But
Interesting.
yeah, it
Wow.
complements just about anything.
Oh, that is very cool. I love that. So, now do you guys, when you are refining this salt, do you have to like put it into like some kind of sifter, or how does that even work?
We do. So we have a couple of different steps to our process, and we do have a sort of a process info picture, whatever you want to call it, on our website. But after we've harvested the sea salt from our evaporation tanks, it goes into a drying room, which it has, several days where it gets turned over so that the salt crystals don't stick together. And then after it's fully dry, it does go through a three-screen mesh sifter where it gets different particulate sizes. And we'll use those smaller salt crystals as most of our cocktail rooming salts, because that's a finer salt that sticks to a glass better. The larger flakes we like to package just individually as our pure flake salt. And then as we are making flavors, often with the, like the rosemary and lemon, where you're adding fresh ingredients, you're adding some moisture into that. The crystals will break up a little bit naturally as you're kind of stirring that together. So there's
Okay.
different textures to the different types of seasoning that we're doing.
Oh, that is interesting. Um, this is very fascinating. So, does the whole family help out in this, or is it just, is it a family affair at
It
work,
is
or?
a family affair. We do have
Okay.
several employees that are amazing. We appreciate them so much. So we do have, in the summer season from April through September, we have a retail shop that's open in Whittier. So it's our production facility as well as our retail space. And in the summer, we have wonderful employees that help to run that retail space. And our children love to run the retail space as well. They love chatting with the tourists as they come in to visit. And they also love to, package our online orders and work in that way. It's definitely a family affair. And our business
Oh,
partners as well, their sons help out. And, we're all just there all the time doing all the things. It's, any
what a great
small,
experience.
it is, it's a great experience. And any
Yeah, it
small
is.
business, you pitch in where the need sits. And so
Yeah,
it's,
that's awesome.
it is, it's fun.
That is really good. That is, people love to hear that too. I find people love it when the family is involved with businesses. It makes it more special.
It
Um,
does. And it's fun to hear the kids' perspective as they will talk to people about the company and about what they love about it. And it's just it's a beautiful way for us as a family to be more integrated and to do something that we're passionate about together.
that is so nice. I love it. So, now being you are born and raised there, Dory. I know
Yes.
that for a fact.
Yes, I was.
Dory, some of you, Dory and I got to chat very quickly about how I've known her since she was a little girl, and she remembers me very young too. But our families used to hang out together in Alaska,
Yeah.
and funny enough, I did not know that when we were reaching out to you, that you had this
When
business.
your last names change, right? That's
Yes, I know. We get kind of different, go down a different vortex when we have different last names. So this is so much fun. Now I do want to reminisce a little bit about us growing up as kids in Alaska because people love to hear about it, Dory.
we
Um,
do.
and you're still living there.
Yes.
Are you glad that you have the experience of being born and raised there and still living in Alaska and your children live there and you guys have a family and uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really
yeah,
great question. I think
yeah,
that, and I lived outside for several years, but it ultimately came back to Alaska because it is home and it's just a really special place. I think, as you know, the connections that we build last a lifetime.
yeah,
And it is really incredible to be able to take my kids to places that I experienced as a child. And then also, Alaska offers so many incredible and unique experiences. There are things like boating was not part of my childhood, but it's something that I've experienced now as an adult and then have but my kids experience. So there's
that's fun.
always some new adventure around every corner when you're in Alaska. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's a pretty incredible place for sure. Yeah.
that is so neat. So do you guys as a family go boating quite often? And
Yes, we
and
do.
you have to for work, it sounds like,
Yeah.
and just for fun too. Do you guys
Yeah.
like to fish on the ocean or
Yeah,
do you guys like
actually
to fish?
it's funny you mentioned that. We used to fish all the time when I was younger, from, boats, but after I had kids, I found myself getting incredibly seasick when we are fishing, which is ironic, right? We love to boat, but I get seasick. But I only get seasick when you're out sort of fishing in the deep sea for like halibut, for example, because the rollers are coming in and you're just kind of bobbing along. When we're underway and we're going to, a location and you're actually driving the boat, I'm fine. So we have found that our favorite thing to do is to adventure. So we will go and find there's a million beautiful places to anchor in Prince William Sound. It has an incredibly beautiful coastline, tons of little islands and places that you can hike and explore and adventure. So we have our paddle boards and our kayaks, and we go out and we find a new beautiful place to anchor up, and we have, you know, beach bonfires and we roast marshmallows and we go for hikes and we, generally will not see another soul when we're out there. It's incredible. It's a really, really beautiful place. And so that is kind of what we are focused on when we're out on the water. I prefer to do my fishing from the shore.
That's funny. The one thing I caught as you're talking is you said paddle boards, and
Yeah.
people out here are like, what, paddle boards? You can paddleboard out there on the water, and it
Yes.
seems really
Yeah.
cold and crazy. So, do you guys wear wetsuits or what do you do?
No, we don't.
Oh,
We don't wear
okay,
life jackets, just the life jacket. And
yeah,
when we're paddleboarding, we're in a protected area, usually a little cove of some type where it's not going to be, ocean
freezing.
waves coming in
Yeah,
at you. Yeah, no, it's very calm. We're sticking to the coastline and just paddling around, looking at, a lot of times you get the best view of the starfish or the sea urchins or whatever little fish are swimming around. You can really see it very clearly from the paddleboard, better than you can from like higher up of a boat.
okay, all
Yeah.
right, that's fun. I love that you guys do all that. That is so nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, I do have a going back to a food question.
Yes.
One of my favorite foods ever is the halibut, and
Mhm.
only the Alaska halibut because I just find it is so good out there. I really love and miss blackened halibut.
Oof, yes.
And do you guys are you guys making a seasoning for that? Or do you have one?
So we don't, it's not a blackening seasoning per se, but we do make a seasoning that is a collaborative blend with one of our favorite fishing operators in charter operators in Whittier, Crazy Ray's Adventures. And so we call it our crazy blend. And it is actually a little spicy, but
Okay.
it's not too spicy, but it has a nice little kick, a nice little heat to it. And that is our favorite to do on halibut. So again, it's sort of that's one of the main fish that they're taking their clients out to catch, and so they will use it in their halibut ceviche, and we've like adapted their recipe into our blend, and so that would be my favorite on halibut.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds really good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I is there another little recipe tip that you can give us as far as like using your products?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So most of our salts are finishing salts. So what that means is that, again, when you're blackening halibut, that's going to be a little different. You're cooking that in a butter sauce. But if you're doing like an oven baked salmon, for example, you're going to want to just minimally season it before, and then the seasoning really needs to go on after it comes out of the oven. And you're going to sprinkle it on there and just as you serve it. Um,
Oh,
because our salt is so delicate and flaky, it's easy to burn it if it's on top of a food in the oven. Um, so
yeah.
from a fish perspective anyway, we like to make that differentiation of being a finishing salt. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, what about smoking? Can you use these salts for smoking salmon or different fish?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In a smoking process is going to be more of a low and slow heat, right? So you're not worrying about like a high heat of a grill or an oven. So the salt will really just melt into the food as you're doing a smoking process. So it works perfectly for that. Yeah.
Oh, I love the smoked salmon. That is
Yeah,
so good. It's one of
I
my
know.
favorites. And you guys only have the best out there. Um,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
do.
mean to
We
be
really do.
partial, but I at the same time, I really, really, truly believe that. So my other question is, besides everything we've been talking about, do you guys have any like future thing that you guys are working on right now or like you're excited about next year as far as your business or your family?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. One of the things that we've really jumped into this last year is magnesium. So, and I'll kind of explain. So, when we are creating our sea salt, our process, sea salt evaporation has multiple layers of minerals in there. And when we're pulling our salt out, that's our sodium chloride, right? That's your table salt. And it forms in the water at a certain point of evaporation. And when we get all that out, there's still some liquid that's left. And it's really a magnesium rich brine water. And for a few years, we were like, oh, whatever, it's just waste, right? We don't know what to do with this. But what we've discovered in the last year is that magnesium water, magnesium oil, most people call it, is an incredible mineral for helping with like sleep, muscle recovery, hormone regulation. And you can buy magnesium sprays off the shelf that you spray on your legs and feet like before bed. And we thought, oh, well, I bet that's what we have right here that's left in the bottom of our tanks. So we
Wow.
started trying it and using it and discovered it is amazing. I
Oh,
know my mom,
yeah.
she gets muscle cramps in her legs and has restless leg syndrome. And so I
No.
sent her a bottle to try, and she was like, this is amazing. She sprays it like, especially if she has to travel, if she's on a plane and she can't really get up and walk around, she'll take that to put on her legs, and she said it just works so well. And we've been hearing this from so many people. So that's what we're leaning into this year is how can we bring this product that is so helpful that we just thought we were throwing away because we didn't know what to do with it,
Yeah.
to the
Wow.
market. Yeah.
That's really exciting. And that
It's
is very big. Magnesium is a huge benefit. And what a great thing. That is awesome. And that's utilizing every little dot of what
yes.
you guys use. So that's awesome.
Yes. Yes,
Very, very.
we're very much about not wasting. So, part of our packaging is we don't use plastic, right? Everything has to be renewable, recyclable, because we really want to protect our oceans because that is what is supporting our business. And so, finding ways that we can reduce waste is a big part of what we stand for. So, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I will have to tell you, all the way out here in Connecticut, there was a lady that came into the store, and I clearly remember it. She said, "Do you guys have this sea salt from Alaska?" And I said, "No, I'm so sorry." So we are going to have to bring it in.
Yes.
And apparently people want it. And I think it would be a big hit.
I
So,
agree. I agree. We'll get you an order set up. Um,
okay. Yeah,
that
that's
would be
exciting.
beautiful.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Dory, it has been so much fun talking to you and
Same.
getting to know what your business is about and what you guys do is a lot. Do you guys have any of your products right in front of you or no?
I don't, I'm so sorry. I
That's
know I
okay.
wasn't able to be
We'll
in
showcase
Whittier
it.
today. That would be perfect. And I would be
Yes.
happy to, the next time I make it down to Whittier, I'm in Anchorage today. I will do a video tour for you so you can see
Oh,
our production process. I'll give you a little tour of the production facility, the retail shop, and all of the different products that we offer. So you
that
can
would
try
be
that.
wonderful. Awesome.
Awesome.
We are excited about that. That would be really cool. Well,
Great.
and what is the weather like right now? You're wearing a sweater. Is it cold?
I know. I'm wearing a sweater in July. It's so
Like
cold
wearing a
and
tank top,
rainy
throwing a sweater,
today.
but what
I
is the
know.
temperature there?
It was 54 degrees this
Oh,
morning.
are
And
you
it's
kidding?
no, and I actually think this whole week has just been rainy and cold. So we're like, please, sunshine, come back. We
So
miss
now,
it.
do you, I do know this, but will the weather dramatically change? Like it can warm up quite a few degrees, like in a week
Yes.
or so. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it could be back to the 70s next week. It's just we just have a big storm system that blew in a couple days ago. And so we have to hunker
Yeah,
down and get through it.
right. Okay. And all right. Well, I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful summer. Enjoy and get some warm
Thank you.
weather. And I cannot wait to share this with everybody.
Love it.
All right. Have
Awesome.
a
All
great
right.
day, Tori.
Thank you so much, Julie. You as well.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.